Here we are, bases loaded, bottom of the eighth. Delman Young up to bat, and the pitch. Oh, and it's the Anthem podcast, and this is Corey.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. That was anticlimactic. I was getting a little worked up.
Yeah, you felt the magic running through you.
A little bit of emotion, yeah. So everybody who's not familiar, obviously that would have been Corey's version of the color commentary for the second game of the ALDS.
Yeah, I went to both the games.
Right.
Both game 1 and game 2.
Because you're a baller.
Because I'm a baller.
Right.
And game 3 coming up.
Woo!
Making a road trip.
Oh.
Anywho.
I don't listen to radio. It's a dead medium.
Podcasting. On the rise.
That's where it's at.
You choose the shows you listen.
Is your team sponsoring this podcast? Otherwise, I don't want to hear about it, okay? Wait, what's your name of your team in that one?
Of the baseball?
Fantasy baseball, yeah.
Let's Get Buck Wild.
Let's Get Buck Wild. So unless Let's Get Buck Wild is going to sponsor this particular episode or this segment, then...
I'll pitch in a couple bucks.
How cheap we come.
Episode 26 for... Brought to you by Let's Get Buck Wild Fantasy Baseball Team.
Technically, I guess that should be bought by FoundingTheFuture.com. FoundingTheFuture.com in partnership with Solstice Publishing. New book coming out, The Movement, Insurrection, November 27th at a bookstore and on Amazon.com.
But John Sterling does the Yankees broadcast. They put this girl with him who's just like, I feel like she's the reason why other women have to fight so hard in sports.
Okay.
Like the reason why, like anytime, if you ever like, just go to Aaron Andrews' Twitter or something like that, and just pick a random one and look at all the replies that people send. And the reason why
never a good idea.
Why Aaron Andrews, like even if she says like, it's a concussion, he's out for the rest of the game. There'll be more information once we get done.
Kids or get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's just like, why are you naked right now on my TV?
Right.
You're too pretty to not be naked. Like, you just get like a deluge of those comments.
Yeah.
But I think part of the reason why
that's the case?
No, I mean, like one of the
please send all comments.
One of the people who is not helping this cause at all is the woman that they stick with John Sterling.
Okay, there we go. Bringing it back.
Because she's like John Sterling will go off in his Sterlingness. Like, it was like this in 1974, 70, 83 when Rizzuto, wait, that was 52. Like, just going off in his random, unusual commentary.
Yeah.
And then just like the girl will pop in and she'll just be like, I met Bill Rizzuto once at an auto show. Thanks a lot, Jennifer. Like,
sure. Can we prequel this? I'm not a sexist, but
which means I'm a sexist.
Right.
But no, but while like the horrible, like truly sexist people, you know them when you see them, like that.
Like, what do you call all the useless skin around the vagina?
What?
A woman. Just kidding. That was it. By way of example,
that was a great horrible joke.
Just by way of example only.
Yeah.
Please send all complaints to Corey over the internet.
He's the one I wrote that joke. No, but I mean, I feel like at least, even though they don't count as much, the horrible sexists.
Oh, I think you meant the women. No, okay, all right. Yes.
Even though horrible sexists don't count that much,
right?
Like it's still brand awareness for your person.
It's popping up all over their Twitter.
Yeah, like I don't imagine that Fred Manfra gets like catcalled when he leaves. Joe Angel and Fred Manfra,
right?
Or Gary Thorne with his 4-drink buzz leaving the game. Like nobody's yelling at Gary Thorne like, "Hey Gary, whip out your dick." Come on, Gary, I want to see that dick.
I'm too scared to talk to you in person, so I'm going to shout at you out the window. You like the sound effects? I just Doppler effect that bad boy. Anyway, so yeah. And it's
Doppler effect.
Oh.
Taking it back to HF Festival.
Wait, what?
You just went, because
because the Lloyd
Doppler effect was a band.
Oh, I'm talking about the actual Say Anything movie.
Yeah, well.
When you say Lloyd Dobler, I think standing outside your window in the rain with George Michael.
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel on the boombox. That's what I think. I forgot that they were a band. Like 2002, too. HF Festival, like 2000, 2001.
Probably even earlier than that, like 98.
The Lloyd Dobler effect. How about that?
Just like I'm Irish, and I love listening to like Flogging Molly.
I was gonna say just drinking whiskey and fighting, but okay.
I just like listening to drunken lullabies. Just
as you reach for the Jameson, is that what you're doing?
Oh, why the fuck did I grab gin?
Why do you have gin?
No, it's rum. I'm sorry. It was rum because I was making mojitos for a while. I was into that for about a minute.
So wait, you were sitting here at the beautiful the Anthem Digital Network studios, deep in the heart of the earth, in Parkville, Maryland, making mojitos by yourself.
Yeah, and writing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I figured I was more of a writer with a mojito in my hand.
Who are you, Orson Welles? No, that's not who I'm looking for.
Ernest Hemingway.
Who are you, Ernest Hemingway? Or James Joyce? Who would be drinking whiskey? Both of those men would be drinking whiskey, by the way. Both Ernest Hemingway and James. Both Ernest Hemingway and James Joyce would be drinking whiskey while they wrote.
Oh, I drink whiskey too.
Apparently you're drinking mojitos. Do you have like the little thing to crush the mint down into?
I did.
Oh God, you were like seriously in it.
I was in it. It was a thing for a while.
What is it that puts you in the writing mood?
It's usually sleep deprivation. I found.
Okay, just nicotine and caffeine and sleep deprivation.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Because I wrote 14 pages last week.
Yeah,
and I remember I was tired, but I wasn't exhausted.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I got the wild hair to write. And I sat down and I started typing and then just shit started happening. It is no responsibility whatsoever.
Like, because then just wake up and do what you want to do?
Yeah. Because what I need is no responsibility. Nowhere to be, nothing to do. And then just
sit and watch Netflix all day. I gotta get some writing down here.
Until I'm just like, I haven't written in a while, and just go in the other room and type furiously for an hour and a half, and then be like, everything I write is shit, and throw my computer against the wall, and then go outside, smoke 15 cigarettes, and then come back in.
Right.
That's where I am now.
Okay.
I watch a lot of BoJack Horseman.
Oh my God, I love that.
Oh, good. So I was gonna ask you, have you seen it?
Of course.
Everybody,
all of them.
everybody. If you have Netflix, which I assume is everybody.
Who doesn't have Netflix?
Watch BoJack Horseman and give it at least 2 episodes. That the blackout rules are old and outdated.
Yes.
And they overturn them. And I don't know what that means, but I hope it means that next season, MLB at Bat will be every single game.
Yeah, no, not next season.
And then I don't have to pay cable anymore. I can just have an internet connection and MLB TV, and I'm covered.
Which would be nice, but it won't be next year.
The only reason why I have cable TV right now is for baseball.
The House said that it was the House or the Senate. I can't remember which one, but they said that the blackout rules are outdated. Now it's got to go to the other house, whichever one is the one who it sprung from.
Right.
And then that goes to the FCC, who has to do new rulemaking, so that process takes about 12 months, 10 to 12 months. So they'll make a new rule about blackout and what are the ways that we can black out. Congress will then review that rule when it becomes official and decide whether or not they need to instruct the FCC to take further action.
Can we just push this through? Because I feel like this is a big time issue.
Let me tell you how we can push this through. For $1,200, you can buy a 3D printer that prints off the register or the lower register of an AR-15 and allows you to print as many as you want for free. And you can buy the other parts for like $30. So for $120, we could have 4 AR-15s, and then that's how we stop doing the rulemaking process. I'm gonna treat it just to make sure I stay legal. I'm gonna use the underpants gnomes defense. Print out AR-15s ? No more FCC rulemaking. Now
what?
Pasopa.
I hate you.
What,
We're not even getting into that.
The only way I can get your ass up off the couch to care about something is to have that pass. The only way that I can get you and the 8 million people like you to start 3D printing AR-15s and get out and do something is by having SOPA pass.
Question mark.
Question mark. FCC, no more rulemaking. Yes. No, but the only way I can do that is to get your damn attention. And people are so lazy. And those people in power have found out how they can keep you just enough of a slave to keep you docile without drawing your attention. But anyway, enjoying baseball a lot. This is like the best playoffs I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's because there's no like powerhouse team.
There's no Yankees. There's no Red Sox.
Well, not even that.
Buy yourself a postseason.
Right, but I mean, like in years past, when there's been like a powerhouse Yankees team, you're just like, okay, so who are they playing on their way to winning the World Series?
Yeah.
Like what?
Who's going to lose to the Yankees?
All the other games are interesting, but then you eventually know you're going to be steamrolled by a $400 million payroll and blah 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 blah.
It's like let's skip and watch the Yankees play. You guys in the NL battle it out.
Right.
Figure out who's going to play them in the World Series.
But I think this has been a very evenly matched playoffs.
Yep.
You know who the expert of making those calls is?
Who's that?
Buck Showalter.
Well, hey, how about that? If only he was in the playoffs.
He is in the playoffs.
How's that? Oh, he's the Orioles manager now. Yeah. The 13 games up in the AL East Baltimore Orioles manager.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the problem, though, is that he doesn't win World Series.
Well,
he creates teams that wins World Series.
See, I just can't imagine that he would get fired.
Oh, no.
Like,
and he's under contract for another 3 years, right?
Something like that. But, I mean, so what happens everywhere he goes is he brings a team right to the precipice, and then he gets fired for some stupid. In New York, it was because
didn't like Steinbrenner.
Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
I guess that's just enough of a reason. Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
In Arizona, I think people got upset with him for being like such a micromanager.
Yeah.
Like he was like talking about like what kind of font they needed on the backs of the jerseys on the batting practice road jerseys.
Right.
And they're just like, we got to get rid of this guy because he's driving us nuts. And
well,
then
it's Arizona.
they won the
Everybody's
World
laid
Series.
off.
Yeah.
But they won it the next year.
Yeah, and then the Rangers, I don't remember what happened.
I feel like that's another not like named.
Yeah, but he didn't win the World Series.
You know what I do expect? To see him shaving in the dugout at some point. Because he's going to shave before the game, and we're going to get into like one of those 4-hour marathon games.
Yeah.
He's going to have to shave so he can see over the beard. It's just going to start impacting his face. He's going to have to cut it down.
And little known fact, 15 minutes before every game starts, Nick Markakis shaves.
Head, and then eyebrows, face, everything.
By his first at bat, it's all back. 15 minutes later.
Yes.
If he doesn't keep on top of it, he looks like Jabba Chamberlain.
The new Jabba Chamberlain.
Yeah, the new Jabba Chamberlain.
Yeah.
God, remember when he was the next big thing? Now he's just the next big thing.
Anyway, so Orioles are up 2-0. We're going to Detroit, and when I say we're going to Detroit, I mean the Orioles are going to Detroit, but so are we.
Yeah. So I feel like we should share this story.
Yeah.
As I was driving to parking, I just sort of said, "What would you think about going to Detroit for Game 3? Do you work Sunday?" She's like, "No, I'm off Sunday." And I'm just like, "That would be fun, right?"
Now, is this a hashtag after sex conversation that you guys had?
No, this is just a...
Okay, this is a before sex conversation. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is just pillow talk. Rob is of course joking.
Yes.
I
don't know why that cracked me up so much.
I'm glad it worked.
You and EP have pillow talk.
Anyway,
I can't wait for her to hear that. I can't wait to get the what? Why are you saying that on the podcast text on Tuesday?
Yeah. Anywho,
yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, that'd be fun. And then immediately, like, the iPhone comes out, and she's like,
getting stuff done.
Tickets are only $65 on StubHub. And I'm just like,
okay.
I'm like, well, let's say if Rob and Shannon are in, And then Rob and Shannon are in.
Because tickets were 65 to 75. I think they were actually higher than that when we decided to buy them. How much to the tickets that we got?
$30.
That's right. Why?
Because Rob likes to schmooze with people in the Tigers box office.
The point is, I flirt with her for about 15 minutes, and then I say, listen, I'm a season ticket holder in Baltimore, and we were just thinking about making the trip out, and I'd love to come, but, StubHub is killer on the tickets. Oh, let me see what I can do. Clickety, 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 click. Oh, yeah. Oh, we were holding some tickets for season ticket holders here, and it looks like there's some still available. Let me see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
5 minutes later. All right, so where were you looking to see?
Game 3.
And possible clinch.
If the Orioles clinch, like,
oh god,
because it's as soon as Delman Young hit the double.
Yeah.
I texted Rob. I was like, buy the tickets now.
Let's
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to see that. Like, I want to be there for that.
Yep.
So, catch me up, because I've been blissfully ignorant.
Watching MLB playoffs.
Yeah. Did somebody with Ebola come here from Africa and just start spreading it around?
Well,
kissing strangers?
So doctors have come here, but we knew they had Ebola, and we kept them quarantined. This gentleman lied on his export visa, lied on his entry visa, said he hadn't been around anyone who was sick. On his second visit to the hospital, because he was sent home after being given vitamins and aspirin the first time, he admitted that on his way to the hospital, he shared a cab with a woman who may or may not have had Ebola. She was denied at the hospital because her symptoms were too far along, or so they thought. So they took her back home, and he helped carry her back into the home.
We could just live in bubbles.
We could. Or we could use the scrotum, or scrodom, which is now a condom that fits from your knees to your waist. Have you seen that?
Oh, wow. That's something.
To keep your skin contact from happening.
Is that for whenever you want to sleep with Pam Anderson?
Anyway, no, so this guy has Ebola, and at first they were like, he's only exposed 20 people. And then they're like, well, what about the people on the plane? Okay, so he exposed like 100 people. And then come to find out.
What about all those people? All right, so he maybe exposed 1 million people.
Yeah, so then he threw up outside. He went to the hospital one time. Half of the people who were there were sent home, so they were all exposed. If the WHO rules are right, and he was sneezing on people, or had thrown up and then had it on his hands and was touching things, anybody could have been infected. He then went back to his apartment building where he threw up outside, and then went back to the hospital, and they admitted him. They then let a crew of non-CDC people clean up the vomit, which they sprayed with a high-pressure washer, which makes it airborne. At least temporarily. Not human-to-human contact, but like spray, and it floats for 6 miles and then falls on your sandwich at an outside cafe, and you get fucking Ebola. So anyway, so the number who has been exposed, question mark. Who knows? And the reason I wanted to touch on it is this. Ebola is horrible. And any hemorrhagic fever, you don't want to die from that. Ebola is hard to get. It's 50% deadly if you get it. Some people say more than that, but statistically 50 to 75% deadly if you get it. That sucks. And it's pretty horrible, but it's harder to get. Malaria, which is what those two folks in D.C. had, also horrible. Also a horrible disease to get. Easier to treat, but once you reach a certain point, even if you get treated, you're suffering through all of the symptoms and letting it run its course.
Right.
You just survive at the end.
Yeah.
And what my nurse friend pointed out to me was, two things. One, HIV has been a problem since 1980, and some of these fucking dirtbags out here don't even use condoms. So forget about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Also, flu kills 100,000 times what Ebola kills in a year. Still can't get motherfuckers to get a flu shot. Stop spreading that shit around.
Yeah, I never get a flu shot.
So I am using Ebola as we need to be more health conscious, and pandemics are possible, and like get out there and get treated. Don't be like me, get some insurance, because I can't afford insurance. But if you all have insurance and you get checked out, then you won't give me anything, so I'm cool. It's the herd.
I like how you assume that.
It's herd vaccination. You all get vaccinated, even if I'm not. I stay safe. Anyway, so you've been listening to the O the Anthem podcast, part of the O the Anthem digital network. We are coming to you live from the beautiful O the Anthem studios.
Deep below the earth in Parkville, Maryland.
Exactly right. You can find me online at Robert N. Cheek on all your social networks. You can also check out adeaddrop.com, where you can find all the most interesting stories from around the web. Also new this week, foundingthefuture.us. That's going to be the website for my book and all my political junk. So if you want to find out more about my political junk, check out foundingthefuture.us.
And boy, is it junk.
Oh, it is. So robertncheek@gmail.com, Robert N. Cheek everywhere except for Facebook, which is facebook.com/RobCheekEsquire.
ESQ. And you can find me otheanthem.com, at otheanthem on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Vimeo. The listener line, 443-219-7595.
What was the number again?
It's 443-219-7595. And I would appreciate it if you remember it for next time.
And you can send text and phone calls to that.
Yes, text and voicemails.
Hey.
Or you could email me, Corey@otheanthem.com.
Right.
And I think that's it. So if we are alive after we go to Detroit.
Yes.
Because apparently everyone there just murders people for fun.
Yes, Shanny. It's like the Purge.
Damn it, Jake! Throw me a code! Fuck. That was not planned.
Yes.
Just the third Purge movie is just The Purge Detroit.
It's just documentary
like,
style.
This isn't dystopia. This is real life. The guy with the megaphone.
Sure.
Everyone take to the streets. We're leading a revolution of entertainment.
I like that. Free state media. Revolution of entertainment.